Good evening and welcome to Feed Yourself Well. Tonight's recipe is all about pineapple. We're going to be doing a super fresh vegetarian pineapple bowl, and we've got some great ingredients for it. This plant was about a year ago, and we cut a pineapple top off, put it in some water, let some roots develop, plant it in a pot, and hopefully we'll get a pineapple. Who knows? Let's see what happens. So we'll move this to the side, and we're going to talk about the pineapple, the symbol of hospitality. You want to pick a pineapple. It might be a little green when you get it, but let it sit at home on a countertop for a few days. Once you start to see this area at the base and near the crown start to turn nice golden color, that's what you want. You want a golden pineapple. That's going to indicate ripeness. The other thing that we look for when we're checking for a ripe pineapple is if you pluck one of the stems or one of the leaves right out of the center of the pineapple and it pops right out, that's a good sign that it's ready, and it should have that nice pineapple smell. This one does. In fact, they both do. They were great. I had them for about 4 days now, and they're ready to go. So I'll put this to the side as well. Now, I've taken another large pineapple, and I've split it in half. We're going to create a boat out of this. We're just going to take a knife, and I'm going to go right across the bottom and make a rectangle shape right through the core. And I want to go down till I feel the resistance of the other side of the pineapple. Then on an angle, I'm going to angle my knife and go in towards the center. I'll do another cut across the top, right through the core. Then I'm going to angle it and come down the other side. If the pineapple is really ripe, it's going to go right through with ease. This one is. And I'm just going to take a large spoon and just lift that out. Loosen it up on all sides. There we go. And we've got pineapple boat. So that's going to be our bowl for our dish once we're done. This is traditionally a fried rice dish. We kicked the rice out and we replaced it with rice cauliflower. So you're going to see those ingredients when we go back to the cooktop. Now all you have to do is take the core out of this. I like to trim it away. Trim the sides, make it nice and neat. Trim off the core piece. And then you can slice that into nice chunks. Now these pineapple chunks are going into our pineapple boat. Let's get cooking. Okay, so we've got our pan. We've got a large non-stick pan. If you have a wok, that would be great for this recipe, but I'm gonna use a large non-stick skillet for this one. I've got it over medium-high heat, and I'm just gonna add a little vegetable oil to the pan because I want everything to start to saute nicely. I'm gonna do a dime size of sesame oil. That's going to give it some good flavor as well. And I'm going to start with aromatics. As I layer these ingredients in, I'm going to be adding them in based on how long they need to cook. So things that need to cook longer will be going in first. We start with the aromatics of ginger, onion, and garlic. And we just sweat those to develop some aroma. Once you can smell them, you know they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. I'm going to get my pan, I'm going to turn it up to high because I want this to work fast. So I'm going to add a little more heat to the pan. Again, as we start to cook our vegetables, we'll be moving away to the sides, which are cooler than the center of the pan because all the action is going on right in the middle. So I've got onions, garlic, and ginger off to the side. I'm going to go in with some diced red bell pepper. And you can use any combination of vegetables you like. I'm going to add a lot of vegetables to this because I really want it to be a hearty, substantial dish. And I'm just going to sweat those out a bit. Got some heat going on into them. Again, off to the side they're going to go. Remember, they're still cooking. Even though everything's resting on the side, the pan is still nice and hot and things are still definitely cooking. So next I'm going to go in with some carrot. And this is just shredded carrot. I like to do about anywhere from a half a cup to 2/3 of a cup of all the vegetables going in. Carrots are going to sweat out nicely. I don't want everything to dump all of its water completely. Vegetables retain a lot of moisture, so I don't want them all to just dump out and cook the vegetables out completely. I want to cook them fast. I don't want to cook them so that they still have that tender, crisp appeal to them. All right, and we'll bring everything back to center. And off to the side again. Okay, now I'm going to come in with some shredded kale, broccoli, and a little bit of radicchio. So that's going to add some additional flavor component there, the kale and the broccoli. This is going to wilt down really nicely. Again, nice hot pan is doing all the work. When you see that kale start to turn bright green, it's getting to right to the point to where we want it to be to mix in with everything else. And we're going to toss everything together. Remember, it's all still cooking. Okay, back to the side we go again. And I'm going to go in with our rice cauliflower. So this has gotten really popular, rice cauliflower. It's just cauliflower that's been coarsely ground. That's going to cook and saute with the rest of our vegetables. I switched spatulas on you guys. Y'all catch that? All right, so off we go. We're off to the races. In goes everything else, and we're going to start to toss everything together. This is a quick dish. It shouldn't take more than 15-20 minutes tops. The most time you'll spend is collecting your ingredients and getting everything diced up the way you want it. Remember, when you're dicing, to dice everything about the same size because you really want it to cook evenly. Okay, hole in the middle. Everything's off to the side. Another ingredient right in is going to be a combination of yellow squash and zucchini. So we got that in. Give it a couple toss around. Build it in with the other ingredients. Everything's starting to steam together nicely. And we're getting some saute action on the bottom of the pan. Remember, tender, crisp. Cook your vegetables to retain their color. You want them to stay vibrant. You want your dish to be have a fresh note to it when you bite into it. You don't want to cook your vegetables until they're overdone and just starting to really fall apart. They're primarily cellulose, so once you cook all that moisture out of them, they start to collapse. You don't want that. You want to seal everything in with a quick cook method. Okay, so another hole in the middle. English peas right into the center. These are fresh English peas. They're going to cook nicely with our other ingredients. Everyone's come to play. It's starting to smell really good too. We've got a sauce that we're going to add to this. It's a really cool sauce. It's a soy teriyaki. You can get it ready to go. You don't have to make it yourself. Most grocery stores carry some version of it. So when you go down that aisle with all of your favorite international ingredients or imports, look for soy teriyaki. Really good flavor. All right. Okay, hole in the center again, where all the action is going on. We're going to go in with our, let's do tofu. That is some firm tofu that's been diced. So I took some tofu, diced it up. I like the firmer one because I don't want it to mush out in my dish. So I always go with the firmer tofu. Tofu is a sponge. It takes on the flavor of everything that you cook it with. So once we add our sauce to this, the tofu is going to pick a lot of that up. Everything's cooking together great. Okay, now let's add some seasoning to this. I'm adding half a teaspoon of Chinese 5 spice. Right in that goes. I'm going to do another teaspoon of pepper blend. It's a mix of red pepper, black pepper, all in. So we got our pepper blend in. Give it a toss. You see I didn't add any salt because our sauce is going to bring the sodium with it. So we don't have to add any salt to this dish. It's going to be enough in the sauce. Our color's still holding up, nice and vibrant. Now we're going to add our sauce. There's some sesame seeds that are in this soy teriyaki sauce. Right in that goes. We want to toss everybody together. The tofu, I just want to get it nice and hot. It doesn't need to cook any. I just want a lot of heat on it. So I want it to warm completely through. And then our final ingredient we're going to add to this is the diced pineapple. The pineapple that was diced from the center of the boat. And pineapple in. Alright, so we've got all those ingredients together. And we're just going to toss to combine. You see, quick meal, ready to go. Lots of texture, lots of ingredients in different flavors. It's got that fried rice look that we want. And we're going to go over and plate this guy up. Okay, so we're back, and there's our cooked vegetable cauliflower fried rice. Looks great. We're going to build this into our pineapple bowl. I'll set that to the side. We're going to prep a little bit of garnish. We're going to do just some green onion. I'm going to take the white part off, and I'll use that later. I can even regrow that. And I'm just going to do a thin slice of green onions. That's going to go on top of our pineapple bowl. And then I've got these almonds and cashews. I picked these up today at the market, and they're coated with garlic and onion and sesame seed and black pepper already. So they come with the nice seasoning already on them. We're going to add those to the top of our dish as well. And just a rough chop on them. You don't want to break them down too small, but just a little bit to add some crunch and texture to our dish. That's one thing that you want. You want multi-textures in your food. That way we get all the mouthfeel that we're looking for a great eating experience. Okay, so there's pineapple boat. Here's our dish. And we're just going to fill it up. There we go. All those nice ingredients. Let's get a little more on there. Make it look full. There's some tofu chunks. An extra piece of pineapple right across the top. Okay, now we'll do our chopped nuts right over it. And then on top of that, some of our green onion. That looks absolutely delicious. That's tonight's dinner. Remember to subscribe, comment. If it's anything you want to see, we'd be happy to do it. check out this recipe. It's all vegetarian, great tasting, and easy to prepare. Enjoy your dinner tonight, because I'm enjoying mine, and remember, feed yourself well.